little pod people.
Hi, pod people. Welcome back.
We're going to start calling y'all pod people.
Yes, you are the pod people.
We've decided because it's a podcast and you're listening to it, so you're pod people. I hope you like it. This is Bev.
And this is Diz.
And this is
Trigger warning.
And Diz has a story for us today.
Are you guys ready? I've got a story. It's a true crime.
Woohoo!
Woo! We do have a couple of trigger warnings. We are, of course, going to talk about death, as per usual.
Per usual.
There is a brief mention of SA.
Which is sexual assault, for those who don't know.
Yes. And then there will also be some description of victim injuries as well. So
Okay.
It's just a little bit graphic. Everybody ready?
They said they're ready.
Okay.
I heard them.
It's 1956. We're in Cascade County, Great Falls, Montana.
Okay.
We're about 105 miles from the Canadian border.
Okay.
Christmas has just passed, and the new year has just begun. The weather is cold and frigid, because Montana.
Mm-hmm.
Temperatures usually around this time are in the 30s, but feel a lot colder because of the wind chill. And
Because Montana.
It's like right under Canada, you guys, okay? So in case you don't know where those middle states are.
Yeah.
And it can get into the negatives and just feel like a negative temperature. So it's really cold. There's only about 4 or 5 hours of sunshine a day, which is really sad.
Unless you hate the sun.
But in the wintertime, I do the seasonal depression stuff, so I need sunshine.
Seasonal affective disorder. Somebody
Yes.
purposely named that. That was kind of a jerk.
Yes.
They named it sad.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
have
also,
I have reverse sad. I have it in the summertime because I hate hot weather.
Yeah. Well, I don't like hot weather either.
Well, you have it all year round. Except like part of spring and part of fall when it's nice.
I don't like get depressed about the summer. I just don't like
You're
going
just
outside
like,
because it's
dag
hot.
nabbit, it's hot and humid.
Anyway, it's cold up there, you guys. It is Tuesday, January 3rd. There are 3 boys. They're out hiking along a river. It's called the Sun River, near an area that is called Wadsworth Park. And this little part of the area is also referred to as Lover's Lane.
Ooh.
So these 3 boys are out walking, trying to find something to do. And
While they have 3 hours of sunshine.
Right. In the frigid January cold.
Right. Well, at least the river's called Sun.
Yeah, it is. And they're near a park, so I'm sure it's just lovely.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I looked at aerial views, and it's
Not lovely at all.
It's okay, but it's not like a park you think of.
Okay.
So they come upon what appears to be an abandoned car, and they start to get closer, and they can hear that the car is still running, and they can hear that the radio is on, and they see the headlights are on. So like, what is going on? So they get a little bit closer to the car, they walk around, and they see the body of a white male laying beside the vehicle, and he appears to be deceased from what they can tell. So police are going to get called to the scene, and they are able to identify the victim as Lloyd Dwayne Bogle. Now, he goes by the name Dwayne, so I'm going to call him Dwayne. He's an 18-year-old Air Force Airman Second Class, and he was actually stationed at a nearby Air Force base called Malmstrom Air Force Base, which was about 8 miles away from this area. So the police get there, they identify him, they see that he's lying face down, his hands are tied behind his back with his own belt, there is a gunshot to the back of his head, and then they also see that there is a second hole in his left temple.
Mm.
And at the time, they're not sure, they don't know if it's caused by another bullet, he got shot twice,
Mm-hmm.
or if it was just bone fragment from where it entered first.
Oh,
and just,
uh-huh.
Yeah. So
like one is an exit wound?
they're thinking yes.
Okay.
But they're just not sure.
You're right.
So they think he's only been shot once.
Okay.
And it looks like he was obviously shot execution style. Since he was, tied behind his back, most likely on his knees, that kind of situation.
Okay.
It didn't appear to have been a robbery because his wallet was still there with stuff in it, money and all that. Obviously, they didn't try to steal a car because the car's there running.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they find out that he was last seen the night before at a place called Pete's Drive-In, which was what it sounds like is not like a drive-in movie, but just a restaurant where you can drive in.
Uh-huh.
And he had been on a date with a girl at this drive-in. And he and the girl were last seen around 9 p.m. And they find out that the girl that he was with, her name was Patricia Kalitsky, and she went by Patty. So Patty is a 16-year-old junior at Great Falls High School. Now, I stopped and was like, wow, 16 and 18, but it's 1956 and it's just different then. So we're just going to ignore the fact that she was still technically a child and he was 18.
But he was, I mean, it was still.
It was so different.
Yeah.
And he was, it wasn't like he was 35
and
or something.
they might have made out some, but they probably wouldn't have actually gone all the way.
Right.
Because
Especially in 1950s.
it was a different time.
Yeah. She was a good girl.
Yeah.
Okay, so police are like, well, we need to find Patty.
Mm-hmm.
So they start trying to find out wherever she is. Now it's the next day. It's Wednesday, January 4th. A county road worker is out on Vineyard Road, and it's like there's like grass and like an embankment and grass on the other side, and he looks over the embankment and sees the body of a teenage girl.
Don't ever be a road worker.
Yeah, don't.
It's just too often that they're the ones that find the bodies of somebody.
She is about 20 feet down on this embankment. She's fully clothed, and you could see a trail of blood from the top of the embankment all the way down to where she had rolled. Like they could follow the blood trail all the way down to her. She was laying face down, had a bullet hole in the back of her head, which they figured out had entered behind her right ear and exited through her left eye. And one of her shoes had come off as she rolled down the hill.
Mm.
Now, it's icy as well, so she's probably sliding down the hill too. No,
Right.
Yeah. And her crime scene was like 7 miles from where they found the boy.
Right.
So they are able to identify her as Patty.
Mm.
So Dwayne and Patty's bodies have been found 7 miles apart. Now, Dwayne and Patty had met like the month prior. They had met in December of 55. And everyone said that Dwayne was absolutely smitten by Patty as soon as he met her. They both liked music and they liked dancing, and they almost immediately started dating. And
going steady.
Yeah. And some people said they had even kind of started talking about marriage, which I'm like, wow, it's been like a month and a half. But 1956.
Yeah.
Anyway, their families, when asked, said that when they didn't come home after the date, both families just assumed that they had eloped. Hashtag 1956.
Right. It's the 1950s of it all.
Wow. Okay, that really surprised me when I read that.
Right. I guess they weren't panicked about it. I guess he was a good boy and she was a good girl. So
Yeah.
they eloped, and then they would have.
Well, and also, he's in the Air Force, so
Yeah.
who knows when he would have gotten deployed or whatever.
Right.
So. Okay, so let's talk evidence, shall we?
Yes, we shall.
So in 1956, a standard procedure in autopsies involving females was to take a vaginal swab and put it on a slide.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they couldn't do a whole lot with it at that time, but they did it. They at least would do that. In 2001, they sent this slide to the lab.
Wow.
Okay, from 1956 to 2001.
I mean, you have to be kind of proud of them for even thinking,
right?
Like, in the future, somebody could do something with this.
So I'm probably going to bring it up later. I can't really remember. But so this is a cold case, and different investigators would be assigned to it because it's happened in 1956. And it pretty much, the trail went cold. Like, they had no idea. Okay, so in 2001, they send it to the lab. The lab finds sperm cells on the swab and they can determine that it does not belong to Dwayne Bogle. So
Okay.
they did not do anything, the two of them.
Right.
So, time passes. They use what they have. They end up coming up with like 35 possible suspects over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly enough, one was James Whitey Bulger,
Oh, yeah.
the South Boston gangster. I thought that was very interesting because he had been charged with rape in Great Falls 5 years prior.
Mm-hmm.
So they thought he might be. Everyone, one by one, they ruled him out. They were still left with nothing. They had nothing to go on. They still have other investigators retire, new ones come on, cold case. They try their best to do it. They got nothing. In 1989, before this 2001, they did remove bullets from a cottonwood tree that was at Dwayne's murder site, but nothing ever came of the evidence then. So they had nothing. 2001, they had sent that to the lab. They had suspects. They ruled them out. They're just spinning their wheels. They don't know what else to do. So from 2001, we're going to move all the way to 2018.
Wow.
This is the turning point of this.
Okay.
In 2018, Joseph James D'Angelo Jr. was arrested with the use of forensic genealogy.
Right.
He is also known as the Golden State Killer.
Right.
The next year, those sperm cells from Patty's swab are sent in for testing of the same sort. And they upload this data from the DNA into public genealogy databases to trace the genealogy.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes up with 3 possible suspects. It is not the Golden State Killer, you guys. That's not why. I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
That
They saw
was
that
the
happen.
catalyst.
Yeah. That they saw that happen and thought it might help with her case.
So they're tracing the lineage of the 3 suspects that they have, and they finally end up with one single person that they are pretty darn sure it's this person. His name was Kenneth Frazier Gould. He was born on August 23rd of 1927. He was born and lived in Great Falls. At the time the murders occurred, he would have been 29, and he would have been married to his wife for 4 years at that point.
Mm-hmm.
They got married in 1952. His wife was 16, and he was like 24 or 25 at the time. They looked into his life, and his family's home had been just about a mile from Patty's body's location when they found her, and he had worked corralling horses just a few blocks from where Patty lived. So he was in the area.
So it was possible he knew her or had seen her.
Right. And he was seen often like riding horses because this is Montana, so they're riding horses everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they're looking into him, and then they see that a short time after the murders, which is about a month or month and a half or something, he moves his family out of Great Falls. So it's him, his wife, and his 2-month-old daughter.
Mm-hmm.
They up and move. He sells his property and they leave. They travel around for a few months trying to find a place to live, and then they end up in Alton, Missouri, and that is where he stays for the rest of his life. So at the time, he had no criminal history, and he was not mentioned anywhere in the case files, never interviewed, wasn't even on a radar at all of anyone.
Right.
Was never considered a suspect.
Just moved very abruptly to the point that he had to try to find a place to live.
And they literally could not find any connection between him and either Dwayne or Patty. No reason of why they would have known each other.
Except he lived in the same town and may have seen them.
Right. And he was never connected to any other crimes in Great Falls.
It makes you wonder if it just, like, snapped and lost it, or...
Right? So, it took, like, 63 years, 64 years for them to finally get some sort of resolution. And when they were doing the DNA testing, he had died in 2007.
Oh, man.
Right? But he had children,
and
they were very awesome about working with investigators and the doctors and stuff, and providing DNA. So that's the only reason they got anything, is because the children were happy to help.
Agreed. Yeah.
And so his children, especially one specific daughter, and I don't remember her name, hers was very close to his. Like, she was like the main, like,
That's got to be
connection.
hard though to think of your dad that way then.
And the reason they still couldn't do it is because he had been cremated as well. So
Oh,
it's not like
okay.
they had a body to dig
They
up or
they couldn't do an
anything.
exact match. They could just
Right.
do like
The genealogy
yeah,
of it,
it's
yeah.
like the likelihood
It's like
was
they take it
high.
and reverse it to get back to him.
Right.
So they can't say with certainty that it was him. But after all of their testing, he is the most likely offender and murderer of Dwayne and Patty. And most investigators feel like they got the right person.
Mhm.
And even his family members agree that it was probably him, even though it blows their mind. And that is not how any of them
Mhm.
see him or saw him.
But if he was never in trouble with the law and everything, couldn't it be that they had a consensual sexual encounter?
I guess, but you got to think.
I mean, I know she'd been dating Dwayne for like a month,
I
but
guess you got to think about the time frame too. So he's killed because they're going to get. That's the thing. They get rid of the boy,
mhm.
get him out of the way to get to her.
But how long would the semen last? Like, what if she had a thing with this guy earlier in the afternoon
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it also depends on how long she and Dwayne were together that
that
evening and
day? Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
and we don't know that.
I'm just thinking, like, if he'd never gotten in trouble before, if he never got in trouble again,
No.
there's no way to know because he's not around to ask, and neither is she. If she and he kind of maybe he ran because he was like, they're gonna find out that that she and I fooled around that day, and I don't want my wife to find out we just had a baby and whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why he ran.
But then who shot her?
I don't know. It could have been somebody that didn't rape her or didn't, could have been
She's
somebody that didn't leave
yeah.
DNA that was just messing around with people or just was cruel. There are
I mean,
people
that's
who do
true.
that kind of thing.
Hashtag serial killers. Like, I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
It's just really weird
It
because
is weird. I mean, he likely did do it, I guess,
well,
but,
that's the thing.
you
It's
know,
like it says sperm cells.
yeah.
I don't know exactly what that means as far as how
Right.
precise it could be,
Right.
even.
It
So,
could be like, could that be semen that's degraded to the point that there are just a few cells left, or does
right.
that mean that it's been picked up
And
from
it's
somewhere
like in
else?
1956 when they would have gotten the swab and everything, like, were they doing that then? Because that's what everything said when I was trying to find research on it. But I'm like,
I mean, I'm
19.
sure that they knew that that stuff could be found then.
Yeah.
That maybe they couldn't test for anything. Like they didn't know what DNA was, I guess, but
Right.
like they knew there were blood types and they knew that, there was stuff there. They knew what semen was. But they knew that stuff was there that in the future one day maybe somebody could match it up to something. But they probably didn't know. They knew something had to be there for them to match it to.
Well, that's the thing. Like, how do they know this? Because, eventually it has to be
Maybe there was
somebody's
some kind
idea.
of evidence that she had been raped. Because usually there's, vaginal tearing or some kind of sign
Right.
of trauma in the
And they did
area.
talk about there was injury. They didn't
Mm-hmm.
even go into anything, and it was only mentioned once that showed she was sexually assaulted.
Mm-hmm.
And I just did some research,
Mm-hmm.
and it said widespread use of body fluids as evidence, particularly through DNA analysis, started in the late 80s and early 90s.
Right.
So I guess they knew it was something that could be used. They just knew that there was not technology at that time that could do it.
Right.
Because you just think, okay, what did they know back then?
I mean, they knew that it was there. Like I said, they could see it. They could tell that something had happened. They just couldn't match it to anybody.
Right.
But they could look and say, this woman's been raped and there's semen present. That's basically what
Right.
they could
And
say.
even in like the 80s, they have to have that person in the database.
Right.
That's the whole thing. That's the
Yeah.
bad part because we don't all give our DNA to everyone.
Yeah.
So And he was never arrested for anything as far as I could find, so
Right.
his DNA was never going to be in a database anywhere like that.
Yeah. So I guess some of his kids or kin of some sort had put their DNA in some kind of database and they connected it somehow, and then I guess they went and got actual samples of his kids and stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess, well, if there was actual signs of trauma and stuff, then I guess it was an actual assault. But without that knowledge, I would have thought maybe it was a consensual encounter.
Ooh, I just did some more research.
Oh,
In the
okay.
1950s, quote, the 1950s marked a significant advancement in forensic science, particularly in the analysis of body fluids.
Okay.
While blood analysis and the use of chemicals like luminol for detecting blood had been around before, the 1950s saw the development of automated machines like the autoanalyzer that revolutionized laboratory diagnosis. This led to more accurate and efficient testing of blood and other body fluids, making them more reliable evidence in criminal investigations.
Oh, okay.
So I had no
Yeah.
idea that that was something that they did in the 50s.
Okay. So they were able to do a lot more with it. And they also, like I said, they knew that there were going to be more developments in the future that they could do more with it.
Right.
So that
That
was
makes more
important.
sense to me
Yeah.
now because they're already doing that.
Yeah. And there have been cases even later on where they were like, we could test it now, or we could wait on the off chance we destroy what evidence we have and get nothing.
Right.
And we can wait a few years, wait a decade, and test it later and get exactly what we need because there'll be better developments down the road.
And that is actually like in this case, they were talking about, we hear where someone's exonerated after DNA testing
Right.
because we have so many more advancements now. And that's kind of what they were doing. And let me see. It was called FIG, FIGG. It's something from Bode Technology. It stands for Forensic Investigative Genetic Genealogy. And it's genotyping with the traditional methods of genealogical research.
Yeah.
So that's what they're doing. So anyway, that's what they do. And FIG has been very successful with that. And that is what caused them to
That's how they found the Golden State
mostly,
Killer.
yes.
That's the most famous case from it.
Right.
But they found a lot of other people from that now too.
Right. There was actually just, when I was just looking at that myself right now, there was like a rapist that was found because of FIG.
Mm-hmm.
So they had lots of good cases that
Yeah.
were solved and all that stuff. So anyway.
So as far as Dwayne and Patty,
Mm-hmm,
right? Patty,
mm-hmm,
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So the case is still technically unsolved, right?
No, it's considered closed.
It's considered closed. Okay.
They have considered it closed.
Even though they can't technically say 100% that he did it.
They are all, because of the evidence, they're 99.9% sure that they got the right guy.
Okay.
Even though he's already dead.
Okay.
And they can't do anything to him.
That's not fair.
No.
Because nobody will ever actually
pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And her parents and stuff never saw justice because, I mean, if he was young and did it to them, then I'm sure her parents are gone by now as well.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
His and hers.
Yeah. That's not fair. But I'm glad they finally figured out who did it. And
they said that's the main thing, that they just wanted the families to have closure of some sort. And this is the closest they can get without actually having his DNA. It's just crazy because if that's what he did and then he never did anything else, or at least never got caught doing anything else.
Yeah.
Like, that is
it makes
really
you wonder,
serious to
maybe
start
he
out.
scared himself that bad by doing that. Maybe it was just like, whoa, that, like, it threw him off and he was like.
And like no one ever said like he was weird or anything like that. He was just a normal guy.
Yeah.
People liked him and he was helpful.
It makes you wonder if he did do stuff and just never got caught with that either.
Right.
That's
really what blows my mind the most.
And I feel like if his family like helped the cops and stuff and helped, the doctors and stuff, if he had not been cremated, I bet they would have done an exhumation so they could get the DNA.
Absolutely, no doubt. Because they were all... Can you imagine how they feel?
I know.
knowing that their dad most likely did that.
A lot of people would just be like, I don't want to know that about my dad, and they probably wouldn't.
And wouldn't allow it.
Yeah.
They were really open about whatever they needed to do.
And good for them, because that would be hard to know, but I would want the other family to be able to put to rest their loved one.
Agreed.
And put that
because they had all those years
out
with
there.
Their dad or their uncle or whoever he was to them.
Right.
And that's the thing, they were like talking about him being uncle whoever,
Yeah. It's like they had happy memories and stuff, and these two kids, that were murdered didn't have that, and their families didn't have them. It really makes me
wonder, though.
Yeah.
If he really did it.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating.
But, there are so many, even serial killers and stuff like that just seem normal, and everybody's like, they were normal, like,
they were nice guys.
BTK, Dennis Rader, his daughter has talked openly about how she's like, he was my dad. He was my dad. Like,
you guys, BTK is one of the ones that makes my skin crawl whenever someone says his name.
Yeah.
He's one of the ones that really bother me a lot.
If you want to laugh, not about his crimes, but if you listen to the morbid episodes on him, they make fun of him so bad.
Hey, morbid.
Again, not his victims.
Morbid podcasters. Hi.
Hi, Elena and Ash. I want to be your friend.
Hi. Can we be friends? Thanks.
But they cannot stand him.
Yeah.
And
just a stupid face.
And they make fun of him, and it's so funny. But yeah, it's hilarious. Anyway, but I feel so much for his daughter, and she's talked about how
'cause it's just
she's like, it's just such a disconnect between what she grew up with and the man that she grew up calling her father, and this man who was so just evil,
horrible,
and so it doesn't, like, with this man having killed hopefully only 2 people,
right?
I mean, it's terrible, but hopefully it was just 2.
Just 2, yeah.
And then just being normal for the rest of his life, it's not really that surprising. It's like, if Dennis Rader can kill multiple people and
still be a loving
father, and then seem to be a normal family man to everybody else, and then this guy kills 2 people and then moves out of state and goes through his whole life, and he's normal.
Because it is like a disassociation.
Yeah, it's just putting on a different face and being
wearing a mask.
Normal, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It boggles the mind.
It does.
Well, that's all I have. It was a short one, but it was...
That is a crazy case.
It was crazy.
And the amount of time between the crime and figuring it out is amazing. It's kind of cool, though. I get mad at technology. I got mad at technology at work today and just said, I'm going to quit. But sometimes the technology really does what it's supposed to do.
It's amazing what it can do when it's doing what it's supposed to.
Right.
And it's not messing up.
Yeah.
And it's used for good.
Yes.
And not for evil.
Not for evil.
And we are appreciative of the technology we are currently using at this very second.
Yep, we are.
All right, guys. Well, that's all I have. Just a double murder in Montana back in 1956.
Yep. Rest in peace, Dwayne and Patty.
Yes.
But not killer guy, if you really did it. Rest in distress, as Ash from Morbid said. Haha, I said hi again.
Ash, we love you.
And Elena,
we love you. They're going to be, like, weirded out by us.
No, they'll be like, they're our people.
Yeah, that's true.
They'll never hear this.
True.
That's okay then.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm being crazy.
Everybody listening to us is like, what? And we don't have to give them a shout out because everybody that's listening to us is like, they're already so much more famous than you guys.
They don't have time to listen to you guys.
Okay, pod people. We'll talk to you again later.
Guys, thanks for stopping by.
Okay, see you later.
Don't forget, watch for deer.